Good morning. I'm Joyce Sadler with Florida State University, and this morning I have the privilege to interview Ted Corcoran, who's the CEO and president of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber.
Joy, we've known each other a long time, and I want to say go Knowles to everyone watching here today, and I want to say you look fabulous.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Exciting.
I love the tie.
I know I tried to bring my Seminole tie here today, but I didn't want to really show that I was doing too much direct promotion for you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Ted, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get to be the CEO of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber?
Well, you know, it's interesting. The Chamber of Commerce is a collaboration of everything. The job of an executive director of the Chamber is to know a little bit about everything. So I went to school for hospitality, the University of New Hampshire. I was in the hotel business for many years. I got my real estate license. I ran for a political office. I got elected to a political office. And as a result of that, all of those talents seem to fit this job description pretty good. It's a very important part of your community to serve. In this case, it was the city of Destin, and it's very important as you're teaching students and you're telling them to get involved. I would highly recommend to learn what is going on in that community, whether it's Tallahassee or Atlanta or wherever the small town in Florida that they may be coming from, because it is the pulse of the community, and it really does help build consensus in a community when you understand what decisions are being made.
Well, being a CEO of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber, and we happen to be one of the larger chambers in the state of Florida, how did you target, well, first, who is your target market?
Well, you know, the thing about all chambers of commerce, a chamber of commerce is a member-based organization that people like FSU pay money to join to get some type of benefit out of. The same with our videographer over there, RGC Media, pays money to join. What am I getting in exchange? In this case, he has the opportunity of meeting someone like yourself, showcasing his wonderfulness, and hopefully there may be business for him. So not only are businesses joining the chamber, but nonprofit organizations, churches, elected officials, the military, the schools, etc. So it's the one organization in the community that all aspects of the community can join and promote each other and certainly do great things for the community.
So with you're targeting most business owners. What's the key to making this particular one so successful? I've been involved with other chambers throughout the Panhandle, and this one is a little different than most.
Well, we're honored by that, Joy. And it's because of people like yourself and Ryan, who's right over there on the other side of the camera, who decide that, hey, we're going to do business, or we're going to represent our nonprofit, we're going to work hard, but it doesn't mean we can't have fun in the process. Work is not just tedious. Work should be something you enjoy, as you do, and your students will as they get their cool jobs. But they also is the opportunity of your being involved in something. Well, let's enjoy it. So in this case, you have folks who are promoting their business, but at the same time are volunteering to build a festival or to help with a dog park or whatever it may be. And I think when you get 2,000 or so people who have that mindset, there is a pulse of the community that says, hey, we're making business fun in Fort Walton Beach.
I love it. That's great. Well, tell me what some of the biggest successes you've had with this chamber.
You know, I think the biggest success right now is that we've got the entire community on board for the mission. If you break down your community, you have businesses, and we have all the other things we talked about, nonprofits, elected officials, schools, etc. And when you get all of them heading in the right direction, when everyone sees the mission of your community, when the community is successful, that means the businesses are going to be successful also. I do feel here in Okaloosa County and the city of Fort Walton Beach that every aspect of the community is on board, heading in the direction of where we want to head. And that has been monstrously successful because therefore businesses, churches have businesses are busier, churches have more attendance, nonprofits have more money, we can help the community. It's a wonderful cycle. And that's what's happening in Okaloosa County here in 2019. Couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. Well, I know that as a chamber, you put on a lot of events and that you guys host a lot of events. When you are looking to hire new staff, tell me what are some of the characteristics that you're looking for when you hire someone to oversee your events department?
Well, I think the first thing that you have to look for when you're dealing with people, because that's what the chamber is. The chamber is live Google. You can Google someone, or you have an opportunity of meeting them at an event or introducing yourself as saying, hey, I'm a fellow chamber member. So the first thing that anyone should look at is to be nice. I mean, that's what the world is all about. Simply be nice to others. You can learn the details of who you have to call to get ice and who to call for a band, et cetera, et cetera. But when you just learn the basic customer service of, you know what, I'm going to deal with people in a nice way, that's all we need. So start off with that. And then if you're looking at a little bit deeper on that, research the organization, in this case, research the chamber. So if you're coming for an interview, you wanted to say, hey, maybe I need to know a little bit about this. Do I really want to work for them? So therefore, when you're coming to interview for the job, you are going to say, hey, I saw you did this festival, I see you did this. So it shows that they showed a little bit of interest instead of just showing up blind and saying, hey, I want a job.
And I know that as a business professional, you're involved in other organizations beside the chamber. What else do you feel passionate about that you're involved in?
Well, you know, as a chamber guy, we're involved with everything. So therefore, we go to city council meetings, which we're very passionate about. We go to lots of nonprofit events. We go to lots of church events. We go to everything because, again, that's the pulse of the community. Personally, I went to school for hotel administration, so I learned what many of your students are doing. I had never worked in a hotel nor worked in a restaurant before I graduated from college. But what I did was willing to start at the bottom and work my way up. And as a result of that, every organization that we do participate in, we're doing it because we're going to not just sit at a table and nod our heads, but to determine how can I make a difference with this organization. And as a result of that, you pick and choose those that you genuinely like. Some people might like this nonprofit versus this nonprofit because their grandfather may have had cancer or someone they know was homeless or something, and then that way they have a kind of a direct conduit as to how to get involved.
If you had one piece of advice to give to my students, what would you tell them?
Graduate first. I think that's the important part.
That is important.
And then after that, we get here and we get just a lot of email, blank resumes, dear sir or dear possible business owner. I would research really what do I want to do? What kind of job do I want to do? Knowing I might not be in that job for the rest of my life. The days of someone working for the same business for 50 years are over. But I think it'd be generally to determine what type of industry do I want to get into. Do you want to get into a nonprofit business organization? Do you want to get into the educational field? Do you want to work on your own? Do you want to work on a bigger organization of sorts? So I want to work at a hotel versus a restaurant. I think the key thing about a chamber that I really like is a chamber should be the wish list. And if I want to go to a city, let's just say I want to go to Nashville or I want to go to Tallahassee, that's my choice. I don't care what job I have, but I want to go to that city first. I have two choices. I can Google businesses in Nashville or businesses in Tallahassee, or I can go to a chamber directory. And if I look at the chamber directory, it's broken down by business categories from accommodations all the way through to zoos, if you have one, I suppose, alphabetically. And you can go through those and say, yeah, I could see myself working at a bank, or I could see myself working at an insurance company, etc. And what that does is it truly says to you, hey, that city has businesses that I'm interested in, and therefore that's who I'm going to apply to and find out how to get to those people specifically that way versus just going in there blind and saying, I need a job.
So research is the key.
I think, in this day and age, research is important. And from what I'm hearing, most people are choosing the location first. So make sure the location is more than, hey, why do you want to go to Nashville? Well, I like country music or I like the Titans. Whatever it may be, realize, do they have a job that I really would like to work in? And I believe, again, that's where you could use a chamber, is you determine the category and then you contact those people directly. At the chamber directory, right online, it would say the name of the hotel and the name of the contact. So you call that person up, old school, if that be the case. Hello, Miss Sadler at the Wyndham. My name is Ryan, and I've just graduated FSU. Can I talk to you about a job, a career with your company? And I would find that in this day and age unparalleled, because we get a lot of blind emails, we get a lot of stuff mailed in, but old school, calling people, contacting them, I believe is one approach that I think would work very well.
Well, thank you so much for your time and the opportunity to come and do this with you. And I appreciate you sharing your experience and your thoughts with our students.
Joy, I'm very proud of what you're doing, and go Knowles.
Go Knowles. Thank sir.